extreme measures to secure electoral peace. Okay. Let's keep going. Amaechi made the remark in Abuja at the National Conference on Strengthening Democracy in Nigeria, organized by the African Center for Leadership, Strategy and Development. He explained that Nigerian politicians are determined to retain power by any means. And even if citizens demand change, power will not be freely relinquished, citing past events in Nigeria and Ghana as examples. None of you here can defend the votes, he said. If you have complained, complain, and just have been clapping for you. The only way Ibrahim Shekarau became governor was because people lined up. He continued, it happened in Ghana before the election of the last president. 2 days, many of us were called to intervene. Why? Because the people were ready to die. My goodness. Amaechi further stated, you're talking and abusing everybody. Nobody has power and will give it to you. Not even me. If you want a pastor as president, go and get one. And this is the line that caused all the controversies, stirred the reactions, and got people talking. The politicians in Nigeria are there to steal, maim, and kill to remain in power. And then he followed it with, now there are quotes, which means that they are quoting his direct words. If you think Tinubu will give it to you, you are wasting your time. Amaechi added, stressing the need for political vigilance. So that is the statement credited to the former governor, who was also Minister of Transport, I believe, under the Buhari administration. Is there anything wrong with what he said? Yes, because it's not the content, it's the context. It's how he said it. The problem with statements like this, while true, is that it might be inciting. It just might be. So questions you want to ask are, what does it mean to fight for power in a democracy? Are you talking about the proper ways of fighting for power? Protests, civil resistance, elections? Or are you talking about something extreme, which obviously will tilt more in the direction of what you're not supposed to do? How can citizens take a more active role in demanding change? If you've read any book that has to do with power, starting with the 48 laws that everybody likes to quote every now and then, and all the literature, the materials, the articles, you may have heard this line, power is taken, not given. And that's true, which means that you fight for power. But there are channels available for you to fight. And if you do anything away from the provided platforms, let me use those words, then you're doing something wrong. But are people willing to die for power? Is power something that you should be willing to die for? The second problem with the statement of Amaechi is that sometimes it's not just about the message, it's the messenger. If you heard these words from a technocrat, someone in academia, a professor, a development expert, an analyst, one of those people who read too much and they have too many things to say, they know how to fix the country, they wear suits, they have gray hair, they speak English, people who have been invited for seminars on countless platforms, they've given keynote speeches, their profile is longer than the River Niger. You know those people who, he was a doctor. 30 years ago, he wrote his first book. After getting his PhD, he now became a professor. He was not satisfied with... It's how you feel whenever they read the profile of Chinua Achebe. You just feel intimidated, like this guy has lived more than one life. So those kind of people, if they say things like this, then you would say, oh, well, he may have read it in a book or he knows about politics and strategy. You would credit that position to some knowledge they have based on their experience. But when a person who has also tasted that same power makes a comment like this, a person who was governor of a state in Nigeria, one of the most viable states, if you may, River State is not It's one of the states that actually dictate the direction of the country. A person who has been minister, a person who has spent time in the State House of Assembly. I mean, if you're talking about power, Amaechi understands it. That same person is telling you that in this our structure, power is taking, not given. You want to ask important questions about the fine line between advocacy and incitement. What does real power look like for Nigerians? Is it political participation to elections? Should citizens be more proactive? Or should they engage in what they are not supposed to? Because according to Amaechi, it is taking, not given. And those who have it now will not let it go. So you need people who are willing to die for it. Now, I'm trying not to create problems where they don't exist. I'm also trying to ensure that people are not getting the wrong idea from what the former governor said. But most importantly, that it is not inciting. I'm also trying to ensure that I hear from you if I run out of time. 08179230002. The former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amaechi, has said that the president will not easily cede power to younger generations, emphasizing that politicians resort to extreme measures to secure electoral victories. He had a lot more to say, but that was his basic position. What say you? 08179230002. 08179230003. Are you concerned about the message and also about the messenger? If somebody else had said exactly what Amaechi said, would it hit differently? Would it have a different punch to it? Do you think there's a wrong way to make that statement? But most importantly, what does it mean to fight for power in modern day Nigeria? Protest, civil resistance, or something more extreme? Call me and tell me. Hello, good evening. Good evening.
Sam.
Good evening. What's your name?
My name is Isaac Gaspar.
All right, go ahead.
Yes. The I'm having here is not a statement.
My brother.
You should know that made the statement.
The network wants to take the power from you.
Can you hear me?
I'm trying.
Yes. I know what I'm. Yeah, Amaechi, we know, has been a governor in Rivers State.
Okay. Oh my goodness, and we've lost the power. My God. Alright, call back if you can. Please do. I'd like to hear what you have to say. I know that your opening statement was that you had a problem with the messenger and not just the message. To me, there's nothing wrong with what Amaechi said. This is a message on WhatsApp. Power is taking and not giving. And the only way we can change our situation in Nigeria is to fight for it by advocating through the right way. Day Sayefa says. Jude calls from Amoma. Hello, Jude.
Yeah. Right Honorable Chibika Amaechi, former governor of Rivers State, is damn right in what he said.
Okay.
That you must have to grab power. You grab it, you fight for it. Nobody gives out power. And Tinubu will not give out power to anyone. You must have to fight for it and grab it.
Okay.
But it depends on the channel of the fight. How does the fight go? Probably he is not intending to say that you have to carry on or carry machetes or any other equipment, any other thing you use to fight,
Okay.
to go and fight for political power. No. There are channels. And Tinubu will be the last person to give up power. No one gives it. That's what he's trying to say. So Nigerians definitely have to be prepared to fight, to take away, or to give in power to Tinubu.
Okay.
It's a very serious fight.
Let me ask you, Jude. Do you think this message would have hit differently if someone else had said it? Maybe not Amaechi.
No, it's even better we had it from him. One who has tested power. He was even a presidential candidate. I think he fought it out with Tinubu. So he's a better person to tell us. He has been fighting all his life, I can tell you. All the life of Amaechi has been political fight to where he is today.
Okay.
And he never got it just at the platter of gold.
All right.
He never.
Thank you very much, Jude. So he says Amaechi was right, the message was right, and the messenger was also right. Ezekiel Isaiah on WhatsApp says the message is very clear. Power is given, not taken. Am I reading that wrongly? Is power is given? The politicians will know that sovereignty lies with the people, not their money, Ezekiel says. Okay. Aminu Sule Alpha says the former governor of Rivers State, Honorable Rotimi Amaechi, has expired politically. Is he not one of the people that brought former President Buhari to destroy Nigeria? Please let him go and sleep. After all, he does not know how to play politics. Aminu. In the words of whoever said it, who make you vex? Back to the phone lines. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Oh my. Okay, you have to call back. Something is not right with that line. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, hello, good evening.
Good evening. Please turn off your radio.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, my name is Tawo, T-A-W-O. I'm calling from Karaja.
All right, go ahead, Tawo.
Okay, yeah. Even the Bible says that the kingdom of God suffereth violence. Only the violent that can take it by force.
Really?
But taking it by force, yes, it's scriptural. So, but taking it by force does not mean that you need to fight and kill people and all that. It was just it. It means you don't sit back because you want to take power. You go for power. You fight for power. You don't sit at the fence. And of course, for me, it's applicable to life generally. You don't sit back and say that you provide for you. No, you go for it. You fight for it. Now, secondly, you ask, assuming it was some other person that had made that statement. In fact, if it was a professor, a lecturer, those white-headed that said it, I think I wouldn't have taken such a person. I wouldn't have taken it because I believe that for such a person, he has not been in the field, he has not tested such power that Amaechi is talking of. So I would have taken such a person serious. But coming up from, somebody would say, the horse's mouth, it's complete, accurate.
Okay. Now let me ask you, Tao. Oh my, come on. Why is network taking my power? I will fight for this power. I'm tempted to call it network, but please don't push me. Don't push me. Power. Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
What's your name?
Yeah, Promise, calling from Kukala.
Promise, you want to turn off your radio?
All right. So, I think what the same Rotimi Amaechi have made is, like you said, might be inciting to an extent because Rotimi Amaechi, as we know, is someone who has been in power from 1999. So, Amaechi is not telling us so that we'll be aware. Amaechi is not telling us to incite people because of the new political section that is about to start. And so, him as a person, from the information available to us, is already preparing for 2027. And so the only way he can begin to create space in the polity is to begin to make speeches that will begin to excite people and bring him to the limelight. So that now we're talking about Amaechi. The more he says those words that will make people begin to talk about him, the more he will gain back political consciousness in the political sector.
Oh, really?
But like one I have said, Rotimi Amaechi is not very politician. He got some of those things with God, not because he was very good, but because he was destined for it at that moment. It's not very well because if Amaechi today is not with you or is angry with you, the anger of Rotimi Amaechi can live to the next 10 years. And one thing I have studied in the political circles is that there is permanent interest and no permanent enemy.
All right.
And so for Rotimi Amaechi tell us that power is not given, that we need to fight for it. Yes, we are aware of that.
Okay. So you're saying that Amaechi is seeking relevance ahead of the next election season. Okay. Imaotaka says, good day. Amaechi said right. Despite the fact that he had been an ex-leader, the truth must be said. And he, Amaechi, said it right. That's interesting. Fineface, still on Facebook, says Amaechi was a privileged politician, so he was saying what he knows better. Power has never been giving in this present dispensation in Nigeria, but it's taking. If Nigerians are not ready to take power from Tinubu, the latter will never relinquish power, as Amaechi has said. Unyi Awaji Fineface from Andoni. Samuel calls from Rumukalabo. Hello, Sam.
Yeah, good evening, Oracle.
Good evening.
This to me, Amaechi, the former governor of Rivers State, talking about Tinubu. All Nigeria politicians they show their tenor, even if they know that they are not doing good to the masses, or also they know that their policy is not also good to the masses of the country. They will make sure they will be there to complete their tenor. Let me give you an example. Watch what is happening in Rivers State today. What the local government, they are saying they are extending their tenor. What are they looking for? They are looking for power. They are not looking for they are not doing anything to make sure that the masses will benefit. They're only looking for their own interest. Okay. So whatever thing he's saying today, they are all the same thing. They are not, all of them, they are the same.
It's okay, Sam. Thank you very much. Thank you. Forgive them, please. For they know not what they want to do with power. It's time for the headline news. After that, I'll take more of your thoughts. Please stay with us.
Headline news, Nigeria Info.
Headlines: Former Governor Amaechi charges younger generation on how to wrest power from politicians. Obiakpo residents criticize appointment of 230 A's on drugs for HIV and AIDS.
Hard facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. It's still Hard Facts, 92.3 Nigeria Info. Sam Oracle Chinedu here. The conversation, if you just joined us, is about the former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amaechi, stating that the president will not easily hand over power to the younger generation. He said this during an event in Abuja. Amaechi said Nigerian politicians do whatever it takes to stay in power. A longer report talks about even doing what they're not supposed to. It says people die for power, people maim and kill, all for power. And I'm asking important questions as to what power means in a democracy. What fighting for power? Are we talking protest, civil resistance, the ballot, or things that people should not do? We're also trying to establish how persons of great influence should conduct themselves as regards the kind of comments they make, whether or not it might be inciting. Where is the balance between free speech and responsible leadership? And most importantly, is Amaechi right? Would this have hit differently if someone else had said it? Questions begging answers. Obed from GRA. Good evening.
Mr. San, good evening.
Good evening. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Mr. Tan, the former governor of Rivers State is correct. Power is not easily given. There has to be some sort of struggle before you can get power. But my misgiving right now, Mr. Sam, is where is directed that message to.
Okay.
Which is the youth. Youth of Nigeria is not ready to even dragging power with anybody. You understand? And that has been the cause where everything has remained like this. Most of the youth are not informed on issue of politics. Some people exonerate themselves so long as they have what they are doing. They don't bother whatever happens to the system. So they are very comfortable. So it will be very difficult. So that's why Amaechi put that message clear. Power is not easily given. You have to go for it and fight for it. It's not an inciting statement for me. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Joseph calls from Eleme. Hello, Joseph.
Yes, power is not given. Information, I said, is power.
Knowledge.
The knowledge you have, I can also say that will be termed as power.
Okay.
Your awareness gives you that leverage power to exercise your fundamental right. A lot of time we don't seem to understand our rights as a people, as electorate. That is why the politicians take advantage of us to buy their way, intimidate us, and have their way. So I believe that the people, if the people come to the realization of who they are and exercise their right, they can determine their future, their political fate, their political future. That can be certain. So, if you recall what happened in the end bad governance protest, the SARS issue, the people came out and protest, exercise their legitimate constitutional right. That, I think, has given an end to brutality as in regard to police brutality. So you can exercise your right through court, through a vote, through any other medium or platform you think it is appropriate for you to do it. Be resolute, be determined. Don't be intimidated by that the politician will hire a counter protest or they will have police to intimidate you. This, I think, is a way to reclaim your mandate.
Okay.
I think that is a little I can say.
Well, thank you very much for sharing the little you have. Good evening, Sam. A message on WhatsApp reads, from the speech or comment by Right Honorable Rotimi Amaechi, it corroborated the fact that the enclave called Nigeria has been captured and conquered by mafians who would want to grab and hold on to power at all cost, regardless of the people they are supposed to lead. Nigerian politicians who have questionable characters have hijacked the country. Clinton, Mr. Fresh says, right here in Port Harcourt. And Ogu Justice, Amaechi is extra correct. He is my presidential candidate come 2027. God bless Federal Republic of Nigeria. Okay. We watch and we wait. Good evening. Amaechi has just been economical with the truth. Power is given. Obasanjo was giving in 99. Odili was given. The same Amaechi ceded power to him in 2005. Baku Ikwere asking all Ikwere's sons and daughters. Okay, you guys are now using my show to campaign. Am I against it? Yeah, I'm supposed to be. But now that I think about it, just find me something. Let's see how we can come to a reasonable conclusion. Good evening. A miracle from MCC Rumibo. Power is not given anywhere. Wike has said this before. The only person that can give you power in Nigeria is the INEC chairman. Is the INEC chairman. Amaechi has not said anything different. We keep hearing this every year. President Tinubu, who took power with all resources at his disposal, how do you think he would leave power? It only takes a leader like Goodluck Ebele Jonathan that can peacefully leave power because they're not as desperate as the people in power. Wow. Interesting. What the former governor said was right. That power is taken, not given. He was saying this because he has not recovered from the last defeat. If this was from another person who has not fought or tasted power before, I will agree. It's an incitement towards another exploit in the making. Joe from Port Harcourt says, okay, the messages are multiplying. I was almost certain I was getting to the end. Nothing good comes easily, for with strength we get power. Those who fight into power work hard to keep the power because he knows it can be taken from him. Day Siefa says. 2 more messages and I take a call and we'll have to wrap this up. We have a sponsorship coming up shortly. Amaechi does not have anything new to say. He joined to oust PDP and Goodluck in 2015. It has brought and sustained the APC today. Goodluck was bad. Buhari was good. Now Tinubu is not. I'm awaiting Rotimi to lead from the front. Ami for Ernest says. So let me take that call. Hello?
Hello?
Good evening.
Yes, Oracle Sam.
Hello. What's your name?
Amaechi is my name.
All right, go ahead.
I'm from Amaechi.
Okay.
What Right Honorable Secretary wrote to me, Amaechi has said, is true talk. My reason is, you cannot grab power freely when you have fold your hand.
Okay.
You must work for power to get to you. What am I saying? Any little opportunity that you have been given, you have to work it hard in order to pave your way so that people can recommend you and people can also support you for you to get the power. But some people miss their opportunity when they are being given a little opportunity because one good turn deserves another. So what am I saying? It cannot hold your hand and expect power to come to you. You must work for it by doing some things you are supposed to do that people will see and say, yes, let us support this person. So that is what Amaechi is trying to say.
Okay.
And when you get the power to live with the problem, because our people say that a murder is being committed, the murder has been eaten, have committed already. So it cannot be power easily when you have gathered the power.
Okay.
So that is why Amaechi has said,
all right.
removing the power from the pen that you want it
Thank you.
is with the force.
It's okay, my brother.
So,
thank you very much. Point made, point taking. Noted. So most people agree with Amaechi's position that it is not giving, it is taking. Most people also agree that the right thing needs to be done in the process of fighting for this power as permissible by law. Some do not agree that you need to die for the power. Many are conflicted as to the believability of the statement, depending on the messenger. What do I think? It doesn't matter. It does not. Amaechi has spoken, you have heard, and you agree. That's what matters. We have guests who will join us, and I'm sure they will give us their offering. At the top of the hour, 6 p.m., the major news will happen. Stay with us.